I was so excited to be partying in Vegas for Kendra's 21st. I knew it was going to be a wild time.
Yeah, I want to party my ass off.
Welcome back to more Girls Next Door. Today we're recapping Season 2, Episode 10, The 21 Club, which aired October 7th, 2006. And if you've ever wondered what happens when you give 10 20-something-year-old women 24 hours in Las Vegas with luxury suites, nightclub VIP tables, a private pool overlooking the Strip, and unlimited alcohol, well, apparently the answer is panic attacks, strip pole fitness, retired PIMP Don Magic Juan, and one very tired bus ride home. But before we head to Vegas, it's time to crack open the Y2K vault. Because in 2006, Las Vegas was saying goodbye to one of its most iconic landmarks. After nearly 50 years on the Strip, the Stardust Hotel and Casino was preparing for its final curtain call. Opened in 1958, the Stardust embodied old-school Vegas excess, showgirls, neon, mob lore, and Rat Pack-era glamour. But by 2006, Vegas was changing. The mega resort era had arrived. Bigger, flashier, and more expensive was the new standard. Just a few weeks after this episode aired, thousands of spectators would gather in the early morning darkness to watch the Stardust implode in a spectacular cloud of dust and fireworks. And honestly, that's a fitting backdrop for this episode, because the 21 Club feels like a collision between two eras. You've got Hef representing an older version of glamour and nightlife that was already beginning to look outdated. Then you've got Kendra turning 21, fully embracing the mid-2000s world of grills, VIP clubs, hip-hop culture, and reality television fame. One Vegas is disappearing. Another is taking its place. And for one night, Kendra gets to be right in the middle of it. So kick off those candies, hang up the trucker hat, and silence your sidekicks. We're headed to Vegas.
Hello, my darling.
Hi, honey.
I know that one of the things you really wanted to do to celebrate your birthday was Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So I have made arrangements to send you and the girls and your girlfriends for a day and night in Vegas.
Oh, my God.
And you'll be staying at the Palms.
The episode, The 21 Club, opens with Hef entering Kendra's room. "Hello, my darling," he says, leaning in for a kiss. He has a surprise. He's arranged for Kendra, the other girlfriends, and a group of friends to spend one day and one night in Las Vegas celebrating her 21st birthday. Kendra acts surprised, not convincing anybody, but she's definitely excited, and honestly, she should be. Turning 21 is a milestone for anyone. Not only are you legally an adult, you're now legally allowed to do the things most college students have already been doing for 3 years. But for Kendra, the milestone feels a little different, because despite being 21 years old, she still essentially lives under Daddy's house rules. The mansion curfew is still in effect, birthday plans are still approved by Hef, travel is still approved by Hef, and as we'll learn later, overnight trips are still approved by Hef. The fact that Vegas means she gets to stay out past 9 p.m. tells you everything you need to know about why she's excited.
Kendra's kind of wild, and I knew she was really looking forward to her first overnight in Vegas.
It'll definitely be different in Vegas. We get to stay out past curfew. If I want to stay up till 3 a.m., I'm gonna damn right stay up till 3 a.m. I am gonna party my ass off for a year straight.
As everyone prepares for the trip, Holly comments that being 21 while living at the mansion is kind of the perfect scenario. You get all the opportunities of youth with very few real-world responsibilities. And fair enough. But there's also something funny about hearing people describe the Playboy Mansion as a launch pad for independence. Because nothing says independence quite like asking permission to spend the night in Las Vegas with your girlfriends. In Bridget's bedroom, Bridget is Bridgeting hard and doing what Bridget does best: gift giving. No human being in history has approached birthdays with the level of preparation Bridget approaches birthdays. If the CIA recruited Bridget, world peace would have been achieved by 2008. She has transformed Kendra's present into an actual poker table. Playing cards, poker chips, dollar bills, layers of decorations. The wrapping paper alone probably took longer than most people's marriages. Soon, Kendra's mom, Patty, grandmother Mary, and brother Colin arrive at the mansion. The family gathers for gifts before dinner. And for a brief moment, Kendra actually looks incredibly grown up. She's chosen a beautiful tropical print chiffon wraparound dress for her birthday attire. Her hair is down, it's soft, elegant, sophisticated. No backwards Lakers hat, no braided ponytail. Even Patty and Mary compliment how lovely she looks. And then Kendra pulls out a giant rhinestone grill and fits it over her teeth as she throws up phony gang signs. The disappointment on Grandma Mary's face could power a small city. You can literally see her spirit leave her body.
Hi, guys.
Pretty.
Hi.
Are you decided on that dress? That's perfect, Kendra.
Yeah?
Oh, yes.
Since it's my birthday, I have the right to do whatever the I want to do. Like wear my grill.
Oh, jeez. Are you wearing them?
Yeah.
Oh. Don't let her wear them.
Look at
It looks terrible.
My grandma is such a hater. She does not like my grill at all.
Why bother to look so pretty and then deface yourself that way?
It's like she really does hate it, but whatever. Grandmas are grandmas.
The girls make their grand staircase entrance, and we get a strange interaction between Hef and Kendra. Kendra places dark sunglasses on Hef. "These are your stunner shades," she says. Then she begins coaching him through the pronunciation. "Say stunner." Hef attempts it. Fails. "Stunner," she enunciates. "Stunner shades." And now we're watching an 80-year-old man trying to learn hip-hop slang from his 21-year-old girlfriend. I don't know. No notes here, really. Just perfect television. At dinner at Mastro's, Kendra announces she'll be having her first cocktail. Really, that line has producers' fingerprints all over it. There is absolutely no chance the production company wanted any ambiguity regarding whether Kendra had consumed alcohol before turning 21. So everyone acts accordingly. Kendra wears a dollar store cardboard birthday hat, flashes her grill, takes a sip of her fancy martini, and America's lawyers collectively relax. Back at the mansion, gifts continue. Bridget proudly presents her gift, snowboarding pants, and explains her gift-giving philosophy. She pays attention all year long. She notices what people admire, what they mention, what they secretly want, which explains why Bridget is the best gift giver in the entire series. Kendra genuinely seems touched. And then, Hef's assistant Mary delivers perhaps the most on-brand gift imaginable: an Olive Garden gift card. A callback so perfect it almost feels scripted. Wink, wink. The next morning, Kendra and 9 friends board a luxury bus bound for Vegas.
Hef arranged for me and a couple of girls to drive on a bus to Vegas. I'm a pimp. Everybody get around me.
Who wants mimosas or Bloody Marys?
Among the group are future Playmate of the Year Sarah Underwood and Playmate Amber Campisi. Bridget is also there, but one person is noticeably missing: Holly. Then the episode cuts to the Palms Casino Resort, where we learn Holly has already arrived. Rather than riding the bus with everyone else, she took an earlier flight to Las Vegas. And there's a catch. Hef has agreed to let Holly attend the birthday festivities, but she isn't allowed to spend the night. So while everyone else gets a full Vegas slumber party, Holly is essentially on a Vegas day pass. It's one of those little reminders that the girlfriends weren't all operating under the same set of rules. Kendra may be celebrating freedom from curfew, but Holly's movements are still being negotiated with an 80-year-old boyfriend back at home. At the hotel pool, she is joined by Destiny Davis, Miss January 2005 and Las Vegas resident.
The bus that the girls were taking to Vegas wasn't even going to get to Vegas until the middle of the day, and since I was planning on flying home early, I flew to Vegas early to spend time with Destiny. I have so many responsibilities at the mansion, it's nice to get away, even if it is for just one day.
Cut to the bus, and everyone is excited. Everyone is drinking mimosas. Everyone is having fun. Until Sarah asks a simple question. Kendra, did you bring your grill? And suddenly, we're watching a crisis unfold. The dramatic music starts. The bus pulls over. Butler JD is called back at the mansion. A full-scale search operation begins. JD is crawling around Kendra's room while she screams instructions at the driver. Tell him to look on my dresser. No, wait, it's right next to my computer. Oh, no, check my bathroom. Meanwhile, Kendra is frantically digging through her purse only to discover it was there the entire time. And according to later commentary, this wasn't staged. This actually happened. Which raises an important question, I think. If the grill had been missing, what exactly was the recovery plan? Turn the bus around? Delay Vegas? Launch a statewide emergency alert? It remains unclear. Eventually, they arrive at the Palms, and these suites are insane. One contains a private bowling alley, the other has an infinity pool, overlooking all of Sin City from 30 feet above. The kind of hotel rooms that make regular hotel rooms feel like prison. The group joins Holly and Destiny at the pool. Cocktails are flowing. Everyone relaxes. Kendra goes upstairs early to have her hair and makeup done for the evening's festivities. And after a few drinks, we get a rare glimpse of Holly as something other than the responsible girlfriend. She's tipsy, she's goofy. She joins Kendra in the suite, and she's launching bowling balls down the lanes. When one gets stuck, she literally somersaults down the bowling alley after it. It's one of those few moments in the series where Holly seems genuinely carefree. Like we're briefly meeting the version of Holly that existed before she became the household manager of an 80-year-old media empire. Kendra is absolutely dying laughing, and truthfully, it's a really sweet moment between the girls, one we don't get very often. Before leaving, Holly gives Kendra a custom Playboy necklace she designed herself, a gold "Do Not Disturb" sign. Thoughtful, personal. Then Holly heads back to the airport, and the rest of the night belongs to Vegas.
Have a good night.
You too.
I was bummed to leave Kendra's party early, but nothing really beats coming home to the man that loves you. Rascal! Martini, where's Puffin?
Honey Bunny.
Puffin!
Hi, sweet baby. I missed you.
I'm glad to be back.
I'm glad to have you. How was it?
It was fun.
Was it?
Somehow I think the party didn't end when I left Vegas.
I'm happy you're here.
After getting dressed, the girls head to dinner where they're greeted by none other than Don Magic Juan. Now, if you're too young to remember the 2000s, let me explain. For a bizarre stretch of pop culture history, pimp culture somehow became mainstream entertainment. MTV had Pimp My Ride, rappers referenced it constantly, novelty pimp costumes appeared every Halloween. And Don Magic Juan became a celebrity simply by being Don Magic Juan, a former pimp turned minister who somehow existed at the intersection of hip-hop, reality television, and Vegas nightlife. Dressed head to toe in green velour, he looks less like Don Magic Wand and more like Me Love Me Lucky Charms. He presents Kendra with a custom pink rhinestone pimp cup. And somehow this gift feels perfectly tailored to 2006.
That's awesome! The pimp cup is like a status symbol for all the pimps and players.
Your very own.
That is cool. Oh my God, I'm so
That is so nice of you guys. That is really cool.
The group heads to Club Rain, a multi-level 25,000 square foot nightlife venue located inside the Palms Casino Resort. But this is where the episode leaves out a pretty significant piece of the story. Years later, on Girls Next Level, Bridget revealed that Kendra unexpectedly ran into an ex-boyfriend in the casino that night, Justin Fry. And according to Bridget, the encounter completely rattled her. Kendra was reportedly crying, upset, and had to step away from filming before the group could continue with the evening. Now, here's where the story gets interesting. Justin Fry wasn't just some random ex. He was Kendra's longtime boyfriend before Playboy. And years later, he would become publicly linked to a private sex tape the two had made as teenagers. The tape became the subject of controversy for years. Kendra initially fought efforts to release it, but in 2010, the video was ultimately distributed through Vivid Entertainment with her participation and authorization, reportedly generating a substantial payday. Looking back with that knowledge, it's hard not to wonder whether some version of that situation was already hanging over her head during the Vegas trip. To be clear, nobody knows exactly what was said between Kendra and Justin that night. Neither of them has publicly detailed the conversation. But Bridget has always maintained that the encounter was serious enough to derail the celebration for a period of time. And once you know that, the episode starts to make a lot more sense. The editing suddenly becomes choppy. Scenes feel like they're missing. The emotional tone shifts. It's almost as if the show is trying to stitch together a party that was interrupted by something they either couldn't or didn't want to explain. Later, while they're inside the club, Bridget leans over and tells Kendra, "This is your night. Don't let anything bring you down." And in her confessional, she says it meant a lot to be there for Kendra's 21st birthday because Kendra was like family. That line barely registers when you watch the episode cold. But after hearing Bridget tell the story years later, it lands completely differently. Because suddenly Bridget isn't just being supportive. She's trying to help her friend salvage what was supposed to be one of the biggest nights of her life.
Kendra got up on stage and started working the stripper pole like a pro. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Unless it's on TV, then I guess we're just screwed.
When the party resumes in the club, a birthday cake with sparkler candles is wheeled out in front of Kendra while the entire venue sings happy birthday. Kendra flashes the crowd abreast, flips off the camera, and continues celebrating. The cameras later follow the group to Score's Gentlemen's Club, where Kendra works a pole with surprising confidence. But I guess that makes more sense knowing she later admitted she'd briefly worked as a stripper before moving into the mansion. Ding dong. That little detail opens up an interesting rabbit hole. Despite the way the E! Network often presented the girlfriends as wholesome girls next door who had somehow stumbled into a fairy tale, many of the women arrived at the mansion with far more life experience than the show sometimes acknowledged. In fact, one of the more surprising claims made in Hefnerland, the infamous tell-all written by former mansion regular Jillian Spaulding, is that Kendra wasn't the only girlfriend who allegedly had a stripping background before Playboy. It raises an interesting question about the gap between the image Playboy sold and the reality behind the scenes. The television version of the mansion often looked like a dormitory sponsored by Victoria's Secret. The version described by people who spent time there was often a lot messier, a lot stranger, and a lot more complicated. And speaking of complicated, our next episode is going to take a deep dive into Hefnerland itself. Who was Jillian Spaulding? How did she gain access to the Playboy world? Which other girl next door does she claim worked as a high-class exotic dancer before becoming Hugh Hefner's living girlfriend? And what stories were considered so explosive that people are still debating them 20 years later? Trust me, if you think the show is wild, just wait until you hear the bonus episode following this one on the stories that never made it onto television. Back to the episode. By 4:30 in the morning, everyone is exhausted. Everyone except Kendra, who strips down and stumbles into the sweet pool while the rest of the group contemplates death. And the next morning tells the real story. The luxury bus ride home looks dramatically different than the ride there. Nobody is talking, nobody is drinking, nobody is dancing. Bodies are scattered under blankets like survivors of a small maritime disaster. Vegas has won. Arriving at the mansion, Hef welcomes everyone home with food while they recount the night's adventures. And then we arrive at the episode's final reflections. Holly says she's excited to hear everything that happened after she left. Bridget remarks that Hef really went all out for Kendra's birthday. And Kendra attempts to compare her 21st birthday and Hef's 80th birthday as somehow parallel life events. A comparison that never quite lands.
Turning 21 was the best thing ever, the best party ever. Hef and I both had huge birthdays this year. His 80th birthday, my 21st birthday. Hef and I have a deep connection. Yeah, he's old-fashioned pimp, but here I am. I'm pimping him out for today. I'm having the time of my life right now, and age ain't nothing but a number.
But then she ends with something that registers. She talks about their deep connection and says, age ain't nothing but a number, which feels like the perfect ending for this episode. Because the 21 Club is ultimately about freedom, or at least the appearance of it. For one night, Kendra gets Vegas, the clubs, the drinks, the attention, the all-night party. But the episode quietly reminds us that even on her 21st birthday, most of that freedom still exists inside boundaries set by someone else. The curfew may have disappeared for a night. The rules never really did. And that's what makes this episode interesting 20 years later. Not the grill, not the pimp cup, not even Dawn Magic Wand. It's watching someone celebrate adulthood while still living inside a system designed to keep her perpetually dependent. And maybe that's the most Playboy thing of all. Thank you for joining me for another episode of More Girls Next Door. If you're enjoying the show, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with another Girls Next Door fan. Do you have feedback or even some Girls Next Door tea for me? Head over to moregirlsnextdoor.com and submit a contact form. I will be in touch. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time for Hef and Holly's very strange anniversary celebration. But before then, make sure to tune into the bonus episode, where we review the most scandalous claims made in Jillian Spaulding's book, Hefnerland. You don't want to miss it.
The bricks.